Go live! Hello everyone, here course, final episode, Attack on Titan, worst season ever. No, but seriously, this season is, we're gonna see this episode here. I say it immediately, this is a slow season, right? And people are gonna say that, oh, but the manga is slow too. Yeah, because the manga isn't paced good either this season. Let's just be honest here, okay? Here we are, the final episode, and what I really wanna stress here, talking about course in the report as well, but I really wanna, look at the opening, right? It's the best opening this season, you know, rumble, rumbling, and so on, right? How much of that actual rumbling is in the anime? Like, basically nothing, right? The opening has more rumbling than the whole season has all together, right? And even this episode, very, very unlikely is gonna be much of a rumbling anyway. So, literally, the opening has more rumble scenes than the whole season has. If anything, the opening is actually kind of spoiler, right? Because scenes in the opening are not going to happen in the season, right? The opening is actually about next season, you know? Or the movie, right? The opening is actually showing you scenes that's going to happen, like, next year, right? Or whatever. So, yeah. That is kind of weird, right? That is kind of weird. I'm just pointing it out that my guess, right, is that we're going to get to the rumbling this episode. That's going to be badass. And then the anime is going to be over, right? Like, I'm just being honest here. We're going to get to the rumbling when there's like 1 minute left. They're like, rumbling! And it's like, over. See you guys next year, right? It's going to be the weirdest anime season ever. Because this whole season is like build up, build up, build up, build up. And the payoff is next season, right? Or in the movie. So that's why, again, also the movie, if they make a movie, right, it's going to make so much money. And they can still make both a little bit of episodes and still a movie, because it's kind of really undefined how much left they have. They don't have like enough, I would say, for a full season, and they have too much for a movie, so I can see them going both as well. But anyway, okay, we're gonna watch the episode, and I think it's gonna be one of the weirdest. Yeah, like I've seen it slightly. I can show you guys immediately, right? Because I just tweeted it anyway, so there's no spoiler here, right? I just tweeted that. I can show you guys before I watch the episode, but I just did a tweet. Where did I put the tweet? Where did I put my tweet, guys? I have way too many stuff open. It's all my issue, right? That I have a million times opened on the same time. I haven't seen the episode yet, but I just briefly, watched it on TV, right? So I could like look at if there was a more there. I'll show you guys immediately before I watch it. Sorry about that. I keep pressing the wrong button. And there we go. I called it this thing. Someone sent it to me right now here. I can show you guys. I haven't seen the episode yet, but here I go. Yeah, so that's how it looks, right? Kind of undefined. I haven't seen the episode yet. I haven't seen the trailer yet, but this is kind of how it looks. 2023, somewhat really undefined, right? And yeah, I should probably read Kingdom. I have read Kingdom actually, but I haven't seen the anime since season 1. But anyway. Yeah, it's undefined. I'll talk about more after the episode here. But it's like, yeah, I agree perfectly with you, Dark Straw out there, right? It's like, it's like too much, it's too many chapters left for a movie, and it's too little chapters left for a show. So it's like, are they gonna make like a shorter show, right? Of like 8-9 episodes? Or are they gonna make like, maybe 4 episodes and make a movie anyway? Because again, the movie is where the money is, right? But anyway, let's watch the episode. We'll talk about that later in the review and so on. But I am a little confused how they're gonna make it happen, right? They're probably ending it on a very bad moment. I haven't seen that yet, but I'm just assuming it's gonna end on a very bad location for an episode for season, right? Let's go back. 3, 2, 1, and go. Of course, I just watched. Some sound. What happened? With my controller. Okay, it sounds very low. I'm just deaf. It was sound. I'm an old man. Okay. They're probably skipping the opening. That would be my guess. Because they're skipping the opening, they're probably going directly into the episode. I hope it's longer, right? We all hope it's gonna be a longer episode, right? We all feel it's gonna be like a 10-minute, extra, at least double the episode. But I don't think so. Not what I read at least. I think it's like maybe 1 extra minute. They're probably skipping the ending and opening. So it's like 2-3 extra minutes, right? But I don't think it's gonna be. Oh yeah, it's gonna go back before they. The greatest character ever, Mikasa. Yeah. Oh, Eren! I still remember when I was thirsty for you, Eren. We were kids. Yeah, great. Yeah, final episode. Final episode, but not really because I already announced. Yeah, final season part 3. Or like, it feels like. Have you seen Gintama? You know, it reminds me of Gintama, right? It's like, we're gonna have this like final season movie final sequel, prequel, final thing. Yeah, like this is the actual final though. I promise you guys. Yeah, like it's. Oh god, Sasha, potato girl. Oh, this is gonna be a weird episode now because we already had like 5 episodes, except last episode, nothing happened right in an action way. And now instead we're gonna go back to like remember before Sasha died and so on. Yeah, this is gonna be a weird episode, but we're gonna go back to like when everyone was alive and happy to kind of like make us feel sad that to kill Eren or something, but everyone kind of hates her because he's like a genocidal Hitler guy. So it's like it's gonna be a really weird misplaced episode. I would argue this should have probably been way earlier in the storyline. Like we're gonna like care about this their romance or whatever, right? This is probably honestly. I know I sound negative, but I am. but I'm telling you guys, this is probably gonna be one of the worst final episodes ever. Seriously, and I don't mean that because the manga's ending or whatever. I just mean like as like an actual final anime, right? Because this feels like a very like slow-paced, lackluster final episode where they're just gonna hang out and test like a pizza or something. They're gonna go, like, oh my god, they have pizza and ice cream, and I don't know. This is gonna be them eating shit, right? And yeah, and Sasha's gonna be, oh my god, a car. And yeah, this feels like a really misplaced, episode, honestly. Oh yeah, oh my god, it's like a car, and oh yeah, we're gonna see them like freak out over technology and food and so on. It feels like incredibly, like imagine this for last episode. Last episode we had them kill Floss, right, and we had them kill these other guys. Would it be more interesting if we first had this episode and then we saw them killing Floss, and Floss was part of this party, right? Floss was part of this. Let's go and eat pizza, or whatever. But he isn't. The people they killed last episode is important anyway. The people they massacred last episode isn't even part of this journey anyway, so why should they... it doesn't really give me that sad feeling. Okay, of course, because it's like, Eren! Oh my god, Eren! I'm not serious. This is just, I keep saying, I feel, Mikasa is the worst female character ever, right? Because of course, immediately, they get to this new country, everyone is excited, right? Sasha's like, oh my god, look at this thing. Look at the car, look at this, look at the horse, right? They're all like, oh my god, everything is so exciting. And Mikasa is like, Eren? Eren? Is that you, Eren? What are you waiting, Eren? Where should we go, Eren? See? She's like, Eren, what should we do, Eren? Ah, this is a kid, though. The kid is important here. Yeah, the kid is very important, of course. Yeah, the little pickpocket, the little Aladdin kid, yeah. He's gonna steal. He's gonna, of course, rob Sasha. Ice cream girl. Oh, it's happening. I'm just really thirsty, but ice cream girl. Ice cream girl! Oh my god, it's gonna be some hentai scene now. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Oh, it's cold and tasty! See, this is kinda cute though. We're gonna see Sasha. Yeah, of course, gonna be like, oh my god, ice cream! I want ice cream too! Yeah. Okay, it is a little cute though. Everyone is like excited for ice cream. But that's what I mean. Sasha's like, oh my god, ice cream! It's so good, right? That's like an actual, real character, right, so to speak, that comes to a new country, experiences ice cream, and at the same time, Eren, Mikasa's like, Eren, right? It's boring. He goes this clown guy, it's like, Seek the Clown or something, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know, he's like, this is such a weird scene too, because you're like, oh yeah, that's like Levi and Seek or something in the clown suit, who knows, what's it happening. I don't think it's ever really motivated why the clown why the clown violates Levi. I don't think it's ever really motivated why it happens, honestly, in the manga either. The clown comes there and he's like pissing his pants because the clown looks so evil, right? He's like, yeah, it's like the It clown suddenly appears and scares the shit out of Levi, and he's like, that's never really explained. Why he's so incredibly afraid. Even if he's oh god, not the Beast Boy again, no, not Monkey, but he still is like. But seriously, I'm gonna, I don't wanna beat a dead horse, sorry Yin, but it's just like, Mikasa, right? She's just staring at Eren. Why is she so wrong with this character, right? I keep saying, but every week, I have to have these people comment, right? Say like, how can you hate Mikasa? I was like, because she's come to a new country, and instead of experiencing ice cream, she's suddenly being like, oh, Eren. Right? This is boring. But anyway, this is the interesting part now then, where they're gonna try to kill this poor kid there, yeah. So he's like a burglar, right? He's gonna execute him. But the Marleys are super racist, so I mean, this makes sense, right? They wanna kill the kid because, it's like a little burglar boy. Yu Kobayashi, amazing voice actor. I'm just playing Triangle Strategy right now, so of course she's watching Hoodietter, right? And my, of course, new main, right? Testament, also voiced by Yubikashi, released this week in Guilty Gear, right? And I love Testament and Axel Lord, my two main characters, right? So I'm really happy that she's voicing Testament. And it's fun too, because they kind of gender swap Testament. Yeah, Testament was kind of like you know, androgynous male character, somewhat male, maybe female character, but not Testament is like a woman, more feminine than male, yeah, and voiced by Yoko Kobayashi. She also voices, of course, Maria Hollick and so on, right? So she's like used, you know, to voicing these, like, you know, Otokonokos and yeah, Yen the trans character and so on, right? So it's kind of like her thing, right? But anyway, I digress. But yeah, she's one of my favorite voices, you know, Sash Ice. I always loved her in School Rumble and so on. But anyway, yeah, now she's like, yeah, sorry, the kid and so on, right? No, but I mean, come on, it's Yoko Kobayashi. See, why did she die? Why couldn't Connie die? No one cares about Connie, come on. No one cares about Connie, right? Should have killed off Connie and the Potato Girl could have been alive. If only for the much better voice actor out of her and Connie's. I can't even remember what was Connie. But anyway, yeah, they say this kid, right, and this is important, but holy shit, is this slow paced. A lot of people get angry, but Jesus Christ, this is like 7 minutes, nothing has happened. Saving this kid for 7 minutes, I mean, I'm saying saving this kid is important. That's important later, but still, that's the first 7 minutes. It's not even over. They're gonna have more of this kid, right? The whole episode will be about the goddamn kid. This is exactly what I expected, that we're gonna get the rumbling the last minute, right? It is truly is like the slowest paced season of this anime ever. Incredibly slow paced. Like, who really cares about the kid? It's not that important. Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, man. But anyway, in order to meet, you know, whatever she's Mikasa. The Japanese lady, that she's like Mikasa's great uncle, aunt's sister, and on the mom's side, right? Something like that. And also, she can defeat Flosh. And she's a judo master. Because she's a Japanese woman. She's a master of jutsu. Yeah. Oh my god. When she beats up Flosh, man, holy shit, is that bad. Holy shit, is that scene bad? Oh my god. Like, she defeats Flosh. Oh, it's just such a bad scene. You all know it is a bad scene. This like 6-year-old lady, right, beats up this like super well-trained, you know. It's just such a bad scene. And we all know it is. We all know it is a terrible scene. When she defeats the this like fanatical, well-trained boy, right? Oh, did it freeze? Oh, there we go, sorry. Sorry about fixing that there. Yeah, little CPU clash. That was nice though. I saw it coming there. But honestly, her character is... The issue with her character, right? I'm mad at negative now, but this is terrible. I'm sorry. The issue with her character is that she builds up this premise, right? That Mikasa is a princess. She's a Hime-chan, right? And she's helping them because she kind of wants to, or whatever, like the Eldian, and not like them more or less, but also kind of wants to help Mikasa, right? Mikasa being the princess. But then that is never really explored or explained, and it's never going to be important later on in the storyline that she actually is a princess, right? It's just said, she's a princess, right? And it's like, okay, so are they going to come and ally up with them? Are they going to do something actual with that? No, they aren't. It's like this weird plot point that is never really fulfilled, right? It's like a thread that he's forgot he existed. It's really, really weird. Honestly, I think it's really, really strange. Or more so that, well, of course, the main female character, Mikasa, has to be a princess, because otherwise, who could Eren marry if it isn't like the princess, right, or whatever? If he's very, like, you know, shonen, you know, Naruto or whatever, yeah, you gotta marry the princess, right? Can't marry the common girl, you gotta marry that noble lady. Yeah, needs to have the extra value to, you know, your children, genetics. You need to have the extra baby value, right? But anyway, yeah, now Eren is destroyed, you know, because he has to, like, he's seeing the future, of course. But I just wonder, what would happen, right, if you watch this episode and you actually watched it, so to speak, you know, before you know that he's evil. I would argue so much that I think this episode actually would be much better if you saw it before he knows he's evil. Because now he's crying here, he's all sad, you know, he's all sad and happening. Because we know, because he's gonna do the rumbling, we know at this point he's gonna kill them all, right? We know he's setting up to murder everyone here. Right? We know what's gonna happen, and that's why it's like, for us the viewer, it just kind of makes sense, right? You know what I mean? He's kind of, oh, he's crying because, yeah, they're all gonna die, right? So for us, it makes sense that he's crying. But what would have happened if we didn't know that? It would be a much better mystery if we didn't know what he's sad for. He's obviously sad because I kill everyone. He's obviously sad that he's like, he's seeing the future, knows he's gonna murder everyone, right? He's like, yeah, I need to like destroy these people here. It's all these innocent kids. I'm gonna kill them all because I'm evil, right? You know what I mean? And that's just such a weird thing that, yeah. Oh, it's really dark. I'm gonna fix that thing. It's too dark to watch it. Up there. Yeah, make a family or something. Actually, why didn't he never sleep with Mikasa before he killed them all? I don't know. It's like a plot hole, honestly. Why didn't he pregnant up Mikasa before he died? Right? I don't know. Why didn't he do it before he killed everyone? Yeah, no, they're gonna sleep. The pacing is terrible. I said so negative, but come on! Isn't this a very weird episode? I know that they already announced season 3/movie or something, but isn't this still weird that, like, what has happened this episode, right? And I can't believe people are gonna cope with having this is an amazing anime, it's peak fiction, but I think this arguably is the worst episode so far. Like, arguably this is the weakest episode ever done. Because this is so irrelevant, especially because you know that half the characters are gonna die anyway. Like, we know that Sasha's dead and so on. Yeah, like, it's... Oh yeah, they have like a party. But see, I mean, like, this adds nothing to it, right? This really adds nothing. Because we already had this thing... This is in the flat... Yeah, sure. Eren's gonna kill them all. This obvious, like, it's not incredibly obvious he's gonna kill everyone. We know he's killing the planet, right? He's gonna genocide the whole planet. We already know that. But... This scene could have been like 5 episodes earlier. This scene could have been just before he does it, right? And now they're bringing in more people and so on. They're already trying to save the man away. It also would be more motivating if we had this thing before they all, you know, tried to stop Eren, right? Now, because we already know that they are allying up to stop Eren. But this thing is happening now, afterwards, to kind of motivate why they want to save the people, right? That Eren's not to kill. But this actually would be much better if it had it before they're trying to stop Eren. Or at least had it flashback earlier. So it's just, I don't know. I feel it's a terrible episode. So slow paced, but also it's just so irrelevant. It's like the Connie and Mom thing, right? And the Annie and Hitch thing, when they had this date episode, right? Also completely irrelevant. Because Hitch doesn't even matter to Annie anyway later on. And Hitch learning, whatever, it's been later, but it's like... It's so weirdly how incredible it is. Yeah, all endings are evil and so on. But this again though, right? You're seeing a guy saying that we have to kill all the aliens or whatever. We already saw the lesson, right? We already saw the Hammer Titan and that's not before that, right? This is just exactly the same thing again. Seeing a person doing a speech about killing all the aliens, right? It's exactly the same thing that we already knows. This actually adds nothing to the storyline. Doesn't give us new information, right? We already know. Yeah, and now they're gonna flashback death of Sasha and so on, right? So this is what this flashback should have been probably last season. It should have been like before, after the time skip she died, right? This is really misplaced, this flashback. Incredibly misplaced. Yeah, and Mikasa only like, oh, if I only could have sex with Eren on that hilltop, yeah. If I only had seduced him and, you know, got some of his magical semen that's at the hilltop, my life would be perfect. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's just truly ridiculous how, yeah, Sasha and so on, right? Again, she's hyping up the ice cream, and the only thing Sasha, or sorry, the only Mikasa thing, Mikasa only there to try to sleep with Eren. It's like, it's only, doesn't care about anything else. Holy shit, it's so bad. Anyway, maybe episode finally starts now, because now we're gonna see maybe Eren's perspective here. Finally, he might be the protagonist for 5 minutes. Finally having, I think, Eren's... I think so. It's the sky now. And if you see his eyes when he's flying, right? Or flying, whatever it is. But now we're gonna have more flashbacks. Okay, god damn it. Holy shit! This episode is even more slow-paced than the previous episodes. Holy... I mean, Jesus Christ. I literally cannot wait. I sound incredible. I mean, I sound more negative than I usually am, but this I would say, and I step by step, this is probably the worst episode of Attack on Titan. Like, literally nothing is happening. And because everything they are saying, we already know anyway. Oh, Flosh gonna help him out? Okay, now fine, maybe his story might say something new now. But that's even him and Flosh? Who cares? We already know Flosh is a Jaegerist super fanatic guy. Do you need to see a minute of Flosh talking to Eren being like, I see Eren, yeah, killing everyone, great plan. Do you need to see that? It doesn't add anything. It adds nothing to what we currently already know, right? This is actually the only new thing here in the flashback. Historia saying something, because she's been ignored right for 2 seasons now. Yeah, so at least this is like something new, right? Oh, I'm pregnant, Eren, protect my baby or something like that. At least this is like at least something new here. Maybe. A lot of people also like, is he the father, right? It would be much better if Eren was the father. Holy shit, I remember those in the days people were discussing who pregnant up in Historia, right? And then it was the random farm boy. Like, so terrible! I refuse to believe it! I hope that the farm boy is still alive and he's left with Historia. But that's honestly the best love story course for Eren, right? He's left with Historia, right? You know, that he pregnant Historia before the storyline. That would be so much better. But no, he's in love with Mikasa, right? So no, he didn't sleep with Historia. Jesus Christ. It would be so much better if he was the baby daddy. It would be so much better if it was his kid. At least it would make more sense to what's doing, right? But I don't know. Oh, at least it's a new scene at least. Oh. Yeah, we're gonna have the rumble the last minute of the episode. It finally starts. See you guys next year in the theaters. Yeah, it's like I'm gonna kill everyone in the story. See you guys next year though. We don't have to see that shit though. Oh my god. I just can't help it, but Jesus Christ. Yeah, Historia is so... It's so sad too that they kicked out Historia, right? She's clearly one of the few good written characters, well-written characters, and this is like... Yeah, she has like one scene in the last 40 episodes, this scene. Man, it's so weird how he kicked out Historia completely. As she has so much build-up and so much characterization, and so much character development in this previous ref with her father, and then she's completely, yeah, this is the only thing she gets. That's the only thing she gets in the whole last season again, right? And then back to Zeke and Eren discussing, but it's also very slow pacing because we already know what they discussed, right? And we also know that Eren lied to Zeke, so this is also kind of irrelevant, honestly. I feel it's my favorite word now, but this is yet another really bad, unnecessary pacing scene, because we're like, okay, but we already know what Eren's plan is, right? All these things here, they are so useless because we already know what Eren is doing, right? These scenes should have been before Eren goes into genocide rumble mode. This is yet another scene which like Zeke is like, yeah, let's do that, you know, pregnancy thing, right? When no one can babysit anymore. Great plan, right, bro? Yeah, like, we already know, so we're gonna do it anyway. Yeah, I need an answer, right? I need an answer, Eren. But we know he's gonna lie to him, right? We know he's lying to him. This is probably the worst episode, seriously. This is literally the worst episode. Okay, this is guts time. Okay, at least this is good at least. Okay, finally something happening after 90 minutes. Yeah, it's gonna have to catch his own leg and so on. Here we go. He can heal it easily though, so it doesn't actually have much value as guts. But anyway, at least this is good. 90 minutes, and something finally happened. Yeah, it needs to make it real, right? It needs to blind eye or so on. Yeah, something happening. Finally. It's gonna guts on us. Yeah, you know, bam. But I think this is pretty badass, but at the same time, we know we can heal easily, right? So it's not a guts thing, right? Because, you know, guts is like actually doing it. This guy is like, I can heal it tomorrow, right? So... My god, this episode is so slow-paced. I thought I'm the most negative person ever, but I just iterate, say, this is, in my opinion, Birds, yeah. Oh yeah, this is the Bird Eren. Literally, probably the worst episode in the whole season, of all seasons, I mean, entirely of Attack on Titan. And it's the last final episode of the season, and it's the slowest paced episode with so much irrelevance. Almost every scene is like completely padding. And it's even, I mean, the manga is pretty bad too, right? But this here in the anime is even worse, because they're like, why don't we add an extra 3 minutes of them dancing at the party, right? They're like, let's pad it out. So, yeah. Anyway, now the rumbling, guys, is finally gonna start. 20 minutes in the episode, after like, I don't know, 6-7 episodes, nothing happening. We finally have the rumbling, and then the anime is over, right? We're gonna have finally the rumbling starting, and then it's like the last minute. Now here we go, finally the war starts. And then it's like next year, continuation. It's like 1 minute left, guys. 1 goddamn minute left. Okay, we're finally gonna see everyone die here, and then it's like genocide time. It's over. So I mean, yeah, they're gonna bomb them, so alright. I will say, honestly, I feel it's a slightly a plot hole, very minor plot hole, but I actually think the Marley army should have a better win ratio against the Titans, because Titans aren't even dangerous compared to their, you know, military might, right? Because, as they keep saying, right, technology has overcome the Titans, right? So if they actually, all the countries together can't defeat these titans, I would say actually slightly like, doesn't make that much sense actually. Because yeah, they can, sure there are many of them, right? But imagine every country having, you know, their own artillery, right? Like if every country has a bunch of military, right? They are gonna destroy titans more and more. I would argue that the titans should fail eventually. Because they aren't that immortal. But anyway, I mean, finally we get something. I mean, it's like, but I'm just saying, yeah, this makes sense at this moment, right? But the next 10 countries, oh yeah, here we go. They're finally gonna kill them all. Finally, genocide, baby. Eradicate them. Waited for this for like, what, 8 weeks or something? Finally. Yeah, finally murder everyone. We're finally gonna see Eren's true form here. Caterpillar. Holy shit, man. Oh, PTSD from Elden Ring. But this is nice though, of course, they gotta, you know, call back to episode 1, right, you know. You killed my mom, no I kill you, bitches. Yeah, it's time for payback, right? So, finally, we're here. Eren is finally killing them all in revenge. After they stepped on his mom. This is his fault, but anyway. Here we go, yeah. A bunch of Bertholds. Man, this guy's just running now. So much to run, there we go, yeah. So much to be like, I'm just out of here. I feel like so much to be like, hey, wait a minute. This doesn't seem to be very effective. There we go. But the episode's gonna be, I'm sorry, but the meta knowledge of the episode being over in 11 seconds from now is bugging me, right? And I know this is the last second of the episode, right? Here, we're probably gonna see Eren's face, and then episode will over. Yeah, here we go. He's gigantic caterpillar Eren. Here we go. Super ugly, seriously, but yeah. Big as a goddamn, you know, city something. Cityscape Eren, yeah, here we go. Cityscape Eren. Titan Eren. Big as a freaking god. Yeah. They killed my mom. Well, this actually makes zero sense if you read the ending. It's a plot hole, but anyway. I won't spoil it, but master plot hole. But, but whatever. Finally, right. Yeah. And now it's over. It's like, this is gonna be the last second, right? I see instruction here. Rumbling. Finally it starts, and then it's over. I mean, that kid won't even have time to die. Here's where end now. It's end now. Yeah, of course. The obvious ending with steps on us, right? Yeah. Okay, the ending was good at least. The to be continued. That was like the perfect moment. I will give him credit for that thing though. That's the perfect moment to be like, you know, the leg coming into the screen. They're like, okay, now it's over, right? But I would genuinely say. I know people can dislike whatever, but I will genuinely say, right, this is the worst episode in the whole thing. All episodes. Not in this season, all episodes. Because nothing really happened, right? I mean, if you ignore the last, like, 2-3 minutes, nothing happened for the first 20 minutes. And this whole season has been super slow-paced. And people are going to say that, oh, but the manga is the same. Yeah, but the manga is also slow-paced. Also, the defense man, the manga wasn't good to ride, right? Like, it's not a good, okay? It's because it's canonly slow-paced doesn't mean it should be slow-paced, right? And the anime made it worse. The anime made it worse, right? The anime made it worse. Anyway, I think you chats like guys. I mean, I went into my rant mode during the episode. Then read this guy's chats, and then I do the review, guys. Yeah, bird form. I love that the bird was coming in there. But yeah, this is gonna be another part. Thought about briefly earlier, right? They haven't really explained exactly how it's gonna be. So I took the screen on TV here, so it doesn't say exactly. It just says 23 or something, guys. Yeah, it doesn't say exactly right, but and it's so weird because that's the first one, right? Talked about it earlier before I watched the episode, but it's like, okay, what does it mean? I made a video last week talking about a movie, right, or something else. But I thought about it has to be more, right? So it's about like 8 to 10 episodes left, right? So they can't really make a full season either. And it feels like too much from a movie. So it's something like, I don't know, it's like either a half a season or something, or it's like a little episode and then a movie or something in between, right? So it's really weird how they're gonna go with it anyway. That's the first thing, definitely. But anyway, you know, let's review the episode. But I keep saying it, and I stand by saying it. I think it is the worst episode that I ever seen in Titan. And I know it's going to be more episodes. And that, of course, makes it better. But I think it's very fair to say that this is, like, the least happening. And let me address that, right? Because when you say that, people usually cope. And it's like, oh, but you just like the action, right? Oh, you need no. I don't need action, but I need like meaningful dialogue, right? I don't need action. You know, some of my other favorite animes like Kadi's on, right? Kadi, One Out, you know. I don't need it to be like an action-packed, you know. Oh yeah, shit's gonna explode or whatever. You know, I don't need that, right? But anyway, let's review it. The final episode. But I guess I'll see you guys next year anyway. But yeah, I mean, I just really wanna address that, right? I really wanna point it out. I wanna stress that. Or people get angry at me, whatever, right? Oh, how can you hate so much? It's the best peak fiction ever. But seriously, this season is easily the worst Attack on Titan. This has easily been the worst season of the whole anime, by far. And this episode is probably the worst of them all. Because nothing happens right until this last moment. Nothing happens whatsoever in this episode. It's a huge issue when this episode actually is where it is right in the storyline. Because we know that the kids are dead, or they are irrelevant for the storyline, or so on, right? So having this flashback now of like, you know, Sasha didn't ask him whatever, right? We already know that she's dead, right? We already know how she was the character. So it doesn't really, first of all, the episode doesn't really explore the characters, right? The only thing it does is telling us that Mikasa wants to sleep with Eren. That we already know, okay? We already know that Mikasa wants to smash Eren, okay? That's his most of episode in it. So nothing happens, and they say the boy, right? It's a bit later, but they say the boy. So if you ignore saving the boy, then this is where the episode starts, right? And there's like 1 minute left, and then the episode is over. This is like literally like last 2 minutes, right? The last 2 minutes is the only new part of the episode, really. Because nothing else before really matters. And then it's like, here's the rumbling, and then it's over. And I said it earlier, before I watched the episode, but I'm telling you guys, right? If you look at the rumbling opening, the opening gives you more rumbling than the whole season has, right? The opening is like rumbling. I think it is the best opening this season. And it has this cool scenes, right? Of like stepping on humans and, you know, seeing these people like crying in fear and that stuff, right? You know, like, and I'm not talking about these random Mars, right? I'm talking about these children, right? I'm talking about the kid they say that. I'm talking about, you know, the normal civilians crying, begging to God and so on. That really mean part of the rumbling, right? Where Eren kills all these innocent lives, right? That's the point of the kid, right? That he's gonna kill all those people they party with, right? And so on and whatever, right? They're all gonna die, right? You know, that's the point of the rumbling, right? That is in the opening, right? The opening has those people crying. The opening has those people crying and being sad and so on. And Eren is gonna murder them all, even if they're innocent, right? Because he's gonna kill everyone, not just the Marleys. But it doesn't happen in the season. Right? So the opening is a goddamn spoiler opening, because the opening is spoiling you next season, right? The opening is like, next year, this thing will happen. So already at that level, right, you can see how this episode is terrible, because they could easily reduce those first 20 minutes of bad padding to like 3 minutes. And then we could have actually had the actual, you know, the main rumbling this episode, right? If I was starting this thing, I would have focused way more on giving this episode more rumbling, right? You don't need to have like the extra extended party scene. You don't need to have extra extended on the ice cream scene. You don't need that. You don't need that scenes. What we want to see is the actual rumbling happening after like 5-6 episodes of nothing really happening, right? For example, again, Hitch and Annie, right? You know, I like Annie, but Jesus Christ, that is so pointless, because they just meet Annie at the pie staff, right? And then Hitch doesn't even tell them what she knew about Annie, so it's irrelevant. The Connie and his mom, completely pointless, right? So we've had this really bad pacing, and of course the manga is the same, don't get me wrong, the manga is terrible in too, right? Nothing difference there. And that's also why I never get people always say that the ending is so bad. People are always defending the anime, saying that the ending sucks. That means the defense. Because I will claim, right, that the whole last arc sucks, right? Like, I always said that the whole last bit here is terribly slow-paced, and nothing much happens, and then he definitely runs him in the corner, right? The last chapter are terrible, not to do with that. But people love to say only the last chapter sucks, but no, this sucks too, okay? This is terrible. Am I the only one? I have crazy piece? This is a terrible episode. And the manga is much better. The manga is better though, honestly. The anime made it worse, because it's slow. The anime definitely here just padded out even worse, right? So the anime made it worse, don't get me wrong. The manga is better than this episode, but it's not much better, right? It's not much better. I mean, Jesus Christ, I'm in rant mode this episode, man. But holy shit, man, it's And honestly though, I'm not even disappointed, because I expected it to be terrible. I'm not even disappointed. I'm just like, well, this is probably what's gonna happen, right? Like, you know what I mean? I'm just like, well, this is kind of what I expected to happen, you know? It's just like, yeah, here we are. Anyway, let's go back a bit. This is the perfect scene that I really think the episode makes the episode so terrible. I hate this. When like Zeke is like, hey, Unishan? No, but yeah. This in here is a perfect example of the episode is really terrible. Let me cut it up. I'm doing it for my own. I have to. I'm using my, you know, I'm pressing the button on my computer to print on the screen there. Because I am personally sitting here doing like clicks on my paint on my TV screen to get the images. Yeah. It's much easier with the animes out, right? I'm literally sitting there like print screening my TV, you know. When I'm watching it on, I'm watching the Japanese TV, so I have to like press the button to be like print when it's airing. But anyway, so this in here, I think is a perfect example why the episode arguably really sucks, right? And you can disagree with me, of course. I'm open to any discussion, right? But this whole thing that. What is the point of this scene? Tell me, what is the point of this scene? Because we already know what Eren's gonna do, right? We already know that Eren's gonna betray Zeke. We already know that Eren's plan is to kill everyone with the genocide strategy, right? Which is a questionable strategy. So, if we ignore who is right and wrong, right? We're not gonna discuss, like, if Zeke is right, or if Eren is right, or they're both wrong. I would say they're both wrong. But, like, you know, let's disregard that, right? The issue with this scene is that it doesn't add anything new to what is already established between these two characters, right? Because again, we know where it's gonna go. He's gonna betray him, right? We know exactly what's gonna happen, and we've already seen them have discussion many times before. This is just another angle of that discussion. However, previously, most of the discussion was before he betrayed Zeke, right? Or during the betrayal. Now, this thing here, this is what I call is really bad padding, right? This is just like extending a conversation we already had. That conversation is already, we know the result, right? So extending this for like 2-3 minutes more is completely pointless. Like, it doesn't actually add anything. And this is a whole episode, right? In a nutshell. Before the scene, we have Eren talking to Floss, right? Also completely pointless, because we already know that Floss is like gigantic fanatic for Eren, right? Do I need to see 1 minute scene of him saying that, hey Floss, wanna kill everyone with me? Yeah, boss, right? Do I need to see that scene? I don't think so, right? We're here for the rumbling, right? Or whatever the result of the rumbling and the war between Eren and, you know, the other characters, right? No one really cares about seeing Eren talk to Floss, right? For another 3 minutes, right? It doesn't really add anything. And the whole episode is like this. The whole episode is like 20 minutes of, you know, not much addition, right? To what we already know, right? Especially the minute 10 to minute 20 roughly so. Because then they just keep adding this, like, remember Yelena? Here's a scene with Yelena and Eren for like 30 seconds, right? You know? Just keeps adding these very, very pointless, very irrelevant scenes, right? And that's why I think this whole arc is just terrible, right? In general speaking, because it's the exact same thing, right? With Hitch, again, and Annie. It's the same thing, right? How does it add anything? Okay, we know more about Annie's backstory, but in the end, it's irrelevant. Because Armin is like, oh yeah, let's just pick up Annie at the pie shop and then we go and kill Eren, right? Doesn't matter that we know now the truth of her backstory, because Hitch never vouches for her anyway, right? Hitch never joins the party. So that's completely pointless to have in the storyline. Connie mom thing, I hate that thing. I really hate that shit, because it's completely pointless for the storyline. So we already have, you know, 4 or 5 episodes of just pointless drabble, right? Again, I don't need action. People say, oh, no, I don't need action, but I need meaningful dialogue. I need meaningful development, right? I love that Jean beats his crap with Reiner, because, you know, Jean's best boy and, you know, Reiner's crap, right? So I love this shit in a meta thing, that I love Jean and I hate Reiner. But at the same time, it's just like, what does it add though? Because Reiner already hates Eren anyway. So the Jean beats up Reiner motivates him to kill Eren? No, he wanted to kill Eren anyway, right? So beating up Reiner doesn't actually develop Reiner to join their side. He was already on Jean's side anyway. Maybe it makes Reiner fight better or whatever, but it really doesn't, because immediately Reiner gets, you know, blow up anyway. Him and Annie gets owned anyway by Floss guys, right? So it wasn't really like, again, I like to see that scene, but from a character standpoint, it is meaningless, right? And this whole episode just really culminates the meaningless of it because he has a bunch of these scenes that are all, again, used at the last 4 episodes, meaningless. This is like another scene where we learn a little bit more about Zeke and Eren, but it's completely irrelevant to the general picture, especially because we already know Eren's gonna betray him, right? And that's why I feel this episode is so misplaced too. Like, it's so misplaced, all these flashbacks, because if this scene had been before, he betrays Zeke, right? It might have had some meaning, right? But then be like, I wonder if Eren's lying to him. It might have had some meaning, right? Seeing Eren and Flosh might have had some meaning, right? Because then, why is that the Flosh for? But now, we already know all stuff anyway, right? So it's just pointless. It's incredibly slow paced. But anyway, let's go back to the kid before this, though. The kid is important, though, yeah. Let's go back to talking to the Japanese woman, also pointless. Where's the kid? At least the kid matters, but not really. He doesn't matter at all, actually. But it's just like, at least it builds up the whole, the racism, but also generally, what can I say, that it builds up the Eren's betrayal of, I don't know, being a nice person or something. Here is the actual scene. I found it here. This is the scene I wanted when everyone looks angry at him, right? And I go watch. I mean, one thing this scene does good though. Okay, my computer freezing. Sorry. Come on, computer. No, okay, it's lagging. I pressed the button and my PC started to really lag. Have a new hard drive. I've laid a new hard drive, even though it's like a gaming, super expensive hard drive, so it goes really fast. I'm probably running too much of the background. Shit. Okay, and then a second now it should work, hopefully. Jesus Christ, it's frozen for me. I mean, you can see me, but I'm pressing the button, nothing happens. Like, it's just like frustrating me, come on. Okay, press that thing. Is that better? Okay, there we go. Finally. Okay. There we go. That's weird. No, it's not freezing. There we go. Sorry about that. Freezing computer screens. So, we have the kid, right? With live streaming, whatever. But we have the kid, right? And this is a good scene. This is the only good scene I've argued for until the rumbling, right? Because this scene, again, right, it empowers that all the Marls are evil, right? They hate everyone else. They're obviously, Germans, World War II, right? And this guy is like Ottoman Empire. So, if you're talking about World War II here, or roughly World War II, right? The Marley, of course, is Germany. Unquestionably, that the Mars is Germany, right? And in the backstory, the Fritz is the one that kind of the Roman, right? It's in Europe, right? And this kid, he's supposed to be clearly be, something like Ottoman Empire, right? Probably. The Ottoman Empire kind of fell, I guess it kind of fell just before the Crimean War, the Russian Empire, the British Empire, and the Ottoman Empire, and so on mostly. That is just before World War I, World War II. So, and then in World War II, actually, the Turkish, with Atatürk and so on, kind of actually joined into, right, against, of course, the Germans. But this is kind of, you can imagine this kid, right? He's kind of like from, some kind of refugee, right, from Ottoman Empire, seeming that they kind of probably, I guess, lost the war against the Germans in this universe, basically, right? Because obviously the Germans are much better in this universe because they have, titles. So, yeah, this is kind of like, we destroyed the Ottoman Empire, and now we have their kids running around, stealing and so on, right? And it actually isn't that far-fetched from reality, right? To some extent. Or you could argue that this is because of the other empires earlier. But anyway, so this kid then, right, he's Turkish, I suppose, right, whatever. So they also hate him, right, because they're all, racist, right, and so on. So that thing is good in this episode, because it extends that not only do the Marley hate, the aliens that are clearly used, but they hate, everyone, right? They only like, basically, white Europeans, right, or obviously. So that's good in this episode, because it extends that, these Turkish, they have to live in these camps and so on, right, to get those kind of, right. So they clearly hate everyone, right? So, okay, that's good. This episode kind of extends on the Marley's, supremacy, right? So that has some meaning to the world building. But, and then of course you all hate him and they want to kill him for, stealing money from Sasa and so on, right? From Yu Kobayashi. But anyway, that's it, right? We don't need much more than that. I mean, obviously they're gonna save him and then Eren's gonna kill everyone anyway. So Eren is trying and so on. So there is some, meta to that Eren helps saving him and then they're all gonna kill anyway. Right? So there's some level to that. But what I explained to you now, right, that this part gives you that the Marleys are god and bastards, right? The Marleys are evil, super racist. and this poor kid is like just a poor refugee, you know, from Turkey, right? Yeah. That's this kind of story, right? You don't need more than that, right? You don't need more than this. After Levi helps him and then the other guys have at the end of that, do we need more than that? Do you actually need to see like 10 minutes of this? Is this worthy of a 10 minute of the final episode of this season? It is worthy of half the episode being this thing. And I would of course say absolutely not, right? Because what I just explained to you, that is shown in like less than a minute, right? And then we can see them parting afterwards, right? We don't need to see this order. So it's easily, this thing is terribly padding, right? You can easily have this in 1-2 minutes. There's no reason to have this for like 10 plus minutes. Absolutely terrible. And the other thing is kind of cute, right? Seeing Sasha like an ice cream and so on for like 10 seconds. But again, she's already dead, right? And we already know what character ran away. So it doesn't even like, you know, it doesn't really matter because it doesn't really change her characterization or develop her as a character. Because they're all just acting like they're arguably one-dimensional trait anime. You see the traits being shown for a few minutes and then we see this thing for like almost 10 minutes. And it's just pretty pointless. Like you could basically show this kid right for maximum 2 minutes and have the exact same storyline. And of course, the manga is equally bad too. The manga is the same thing, right? The manga is like also 30 pages of this manga. But the anime made it worse. The anime just took it even longer, right? The anime was like every scene was padded out, and especially the part afterwards was padded out, right? So the anime made this scene that probably even if you just did a manga adoption more correctly, it might have been like 8 minutes or whatever. But even too much. But instead they went for like 12 minutes, right? They were like, oh, we're gonna pad it out. Because clearly they wanted to end it on that step, right? And it really made the episode terrible. Because, yeah, they're like, oh my god, the padding is just insanely terrible. You could have skipped this thing, right? You could have skipped the first 20 minutes. And it wouldn't have mattered to you. Like, seriously. Would it have mattered? It's a little less, I guess it's more sad later on when everyone dies something. But that's kind of it, right? Like, it doesn't really, like, teach you anything. Except that, oh yeah, the Marleys, they hate all the races. Yeah, okay, I didn't knew that, right? Do I need to know that? I mean, I already know that. So it's like, have you heard the World War II Germans are pretty evil? Yeah. I figured it out earlier, I guess, in high school and so on. We read about, you know, World War II and so on. Yeah, I kind of had that already in my head there. But a little bit of that. And of course my family is also partially Jewish, but anyway. Yeah, let's not go into too much here in life details here. But it is kind of, you know, I'm from Europe, I'm Sweden, right? Because I grew up with, I have Jewish in my family, you know, I grew up with my great uncle that talked about surviving the Holocaust and so on, right? So obviously, maybe it's a little, I don't know, nothing new for me, I guess, learning about the Germans in this it's anime, I suppose. But anyway, I was going to talk about Mikasa, because she's the worst female character ever. Where is it? Where is the goddamn scene that Mikasa is thinking about sleeping with Eren for like the 55,000th time or something? Holy shit, is this pointless to have this episode. Oh my god. I guess this is a foreshadowing from Ishiyama that at this moment he wanted to just focus on her being the main character or whatever. I guess this is foreshadowing of him telling us that it was all about Mikasa, the ice cream girl or something. Yeah, it was all about her. She wanted to, you know, lick some Eren instead of licking ice cream. My Jesus Christ, why is it lagging every time I try to change scenes for? Holy shit, okay. I blame my new hard drive, but my god. Now I try to change scene again here. Jesus Christ. Oh, it drives me crazy. Oh, it's so slow. Maybe I should have turned off some things before I did this. Whatever. Shouldn't run 55,000 servers at the same time. Here we go. Bam. Okay. The last thing talking about it, the final episode. Another useless Mikasa scene, right? This is probably the worst scene of it all. I mean, yeah, the kid is pulled out, the 16 is pointless, the floor shit is pointless, and so on, right? But what do you guys think, right? It's just like Mikasa being like, oh, I really wanna have sex, Eren. You know, you're like, yeah, of course, it's Mikasa. Her whole she has, I can't speak more. I'm frustrated. You know what I will say, right? Mikasa's favorite color is Eren, right? Mikasa's favorite food is Eren. She only has one thing she only cares about Eren. We already know it, right? You know, she's one-dimensional, incredibly boring one-dimensional character that only cares about Eren. And this episode just made it even more clear, right? How terribly written Mikasa is. She's such an incredibly boring character. When Sasha and so on, right? It's like, oh my god, ice cream! Have you tried this? It's amazing, right? She's all happy, you know, experiencing this Marley technology, I guess, right? And then Mikasa's like, where's Eren? I wanna sleep with Eren, you know? She's like, where's my Eren, right? Actually, it's a plot hole. How does she even lose the beam, right? It's a plot hole. How does she even, lose Eren, right? Because she's only Eren. How does she even lose him, before she turns out to find him, right? But, yeah, so immediately it shows us how incredibly useless the writing of her she's, right? Because she only cares about one thing, and that's getting Eren's, boy use, right? Yeah. Only she cares about, right? And then she's a flashback, right? Of Eren's a boy. And it's like, oh, I wanted him since he was a boy, right? Which sounds a little weird, honestly, because she's always doing a flashback, right? But she's like, man, I remember Eren was a kid. Oh, I was so thirsty then, something. It's like, okay. So, I mean, I'm not even joking, right? She basically confirmed she wanted to sleep with Eren since they were kids, right? Or whatever. I don't know. I'm just saying, that's a writing, right? But my general point is that, holy shit, all her shit episode just makes her even worse female character, right? Because as always, she only cares about Eren. When the other character has it, wow, look at that core over there, right? They're like, oh my god, look at this technology. She's like, where's Eren? Where's Eren, right? She doesn't care about anything else, and that's so boring. And then they have this thing here on the hill, right? And it's also really a plot hole, I feel, generally speaking. Why doesn't Eren use sleep with her, right? Because Eren wants to be with her or something? So why isn't she's doing it with Mikasa? It doesn't make any sense, right? And she stands here, and she is pondering, should I kiss him? Should I just go down on him, right? Should I just, take off my clothes, right? She's pondering, how do I sleep with Eren, For like the 1,055 times. She's standing here, wondering about that, right? You know what I mean? And it's just like, okay, but how does that add anything to the storyline, right? We already have the I hate you Mikasa, right? And so on. How does it add anything to the current storyline? Because again, she's a one-dimensional obsessed stalker with Eren, right? There's nothing new whatsoever these scenes. It's basically like 3 minutes of Mikasa, I don't know, fantasizing about Eren, right? And that has no value because that's her every episode, completely pointless. And it's just like, what's the point of this scene, right? Because nothing happens as always. She doesn't do anything as always. He doesn't do anything either, which I always applaud of. And also, generally speaking, right? I mentioned it earlier in the reaction part, but I was like, what is the point of this scene in general having at this location, right? This scene would be better, for example, when he says, I hate you, right? And then this flashback will play, and she remembers the time she kissed him, or at least tried to kiss him, right? On this hilltop, or something. That would make more sense. But instead, she's just reminiscing about wanting to sleep with Eren. But her whole existence is trying to be with Eren, right? So it doesn't even make any sense from the general concept of her character, because the only thing she ever does is trying to have intercourse with Eren, right? So having her stand on this boat and then reminiscing of that time she almost slept with Eren, right? Doesn't make any sense, because isn't that her whole life? Isn't she always just trying to be with Eren? So it's just incredibly forced. They're gonna have this scene here with those poor, people, the Turks gonna kill, right? And yet again, Mikasa is trying to be with Eren. But it's like every day for her. Every day with her and Eren, or it's before he goes evil, right? Every day before he goes evil, she was trying to get in his pants, right? So this is just like every Tuesday for her, she does the thing, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's not a meaningful scene to show at all. It's completely meaningless, as always with Mikasa. And, she's diminishing her as a female character, right? The only thing she ever cares about, as always, is Eren. Yeah. I mean, we all know that. Instead of having her being like, oh my god, this car's really cool, or this weapon, at least you could be like, oh my god, look at this new technology, I could maybe fight Titans with this thing. But no, she's like, where is Eren? I need his penis. That's the only thing that ever happens, right? It's like, Jesus Christ. As I always say, I cannot believe people to this day still defend her and call her the best female character ever, whatever. The only thing she's going for is that she can fight, right? Because she's a killing machine. Also, for that matter, as I said last episode, right? I was surprised, arguably surprised, but I thought it was weird that people were like, oh my god, look at this scene where Mikasa's killing all these people. It's so brutal. How could she betray them? And I'm like, but she has no personality. Like, how could she betray them? She's a living killing machine. She's a bot, right? She's a robot. The only desire of the robot is to sleep with Eren. So her killing these aliens, right, in the last episode, it's like, yeah, that perfectly fits her characterization because she has no other personality except want to be with Eren. So her command is to, you know, be with Eren in this convoluted plotline, but still, right? So her killing these like 500 aliens, yeah, it is perfectly aligned with her characterization of having no character. So but people were like, oh, it's so shocking. I was like, it's not shocking. It's exactly her character. Of course she's gonna kill. She would easily genocide all the aliens, right, to be with Eren. I mean, she's the, you know, that's her thing, right? She's just yonder or whatever, right? Yeah, doesn't, like, of course she's that. But anyway, I really think it is. I want to say this. If I hadn't read the manga, I would say disappointing as ever, right? It's not on TV. But yeah, what do you guys think? I think it generally is like the worst final episode in my life. I know, of course, there is more coming. Of course, I know there's another half a season or a movie or some combination of that, or whatever they actually can do next year. Sure, but for a final episode of a final season, right, so to speak. Because we still have to look at it from a final aspect, right? Because usually you do something extra with a final episode of any, even if it's a continuation, right? This is so lackluster. It's incredibly lackluster episode. Nothing happens until the last 2-3 minutes, and then it's over. That literally is the episode, right? You can skip the first 20 minutes, and I stand by saying that. You're gonna miss out on anything. Seeing Mikasa trying to defeat Eren is that important for you? It's like the new thing anyway. And I can't see the episode being defended because it really is the episode. And yeah, the manga is exactly the same. You said the manga is better paced, right? Even though the manga is also slow paced. But it's like, yeah, the anime took it even further, right? To I said it earlier, but it's so clear that the manga wants to end on the step, right? And I was gonna say last thing here again. Look at the opening, right? I said it earlier, I said it again here. Look at the actual opening, the rumbling, right? The rumbling opening has more rumbling than the actual whole episode. I mean, all episodes, yeah. The whole season, there's more rumbling in the actual opening than there is in the whole season, right? And that to me is crazy. And of course, also, as I said again, it really put out that the opening has scenes that never actually happen in the season, right? There's several scenes in the opening that actually never happens during the whole season. Like, for example, scene for crying and so on. Never actually happens. Right? Happens probably next episode, or maybe even later on, right? And also the tree scene and so on. So yeah, the opening is clearly, I don't know. They had a really cool opening idea, right? But it's clearly hyping up something that's not even happening in the season. It's so weird. Like imagine watching, I don't know, One Piece, right? Okay, let's talk One Piece, right? Minor spoiler, One Piece, very minor. I go back in the basic, right? And then you look at the first opening in One Piece, and it's like, look, fighting Arlong, okay? Arlong, right? Early bad guy, right? You're fighting Arlong. That's in the first opening. But let's say that the first season only was, up to like Buggy, right? And then it's like, why is Arlong in the first opening for? It's happening like next season, right? You know what I mean? It would be weird, right? It would be weird, like this is happening in the next season. Why is it here? Another anime is Slime, If you watched I Was Calling Slime, Rimaru has the issue too, right? Rimaru's first season, they didn't believe they were going to have more episodes. So in the first season of Slime, they have a lot of like Hinata, they have a lot of enemies and so on, right? Doesn't appear until like season 2.5 something. Yeah, they have bad guys that are coming in episode like 40, and they are in the first opening, and then the second opening, like they are completely changed that. Yeah, that's so weird, man. And they even redid a few of the scenes from the first opening in the fourth opening. So they clearly showed that, oh shit, we really jumped ahead here in the first opening. We're dropping all the bad guys immediately. Right? They were like, here's the last enemies of the anime. No, but they really jumped a lot ahead there of their own season. It's like, now from 50 episodes, here's the guy, right? But this is very similar. Like, this opening is too early. This opening is like next season. Right? The opening of Rumbling should actually probably have been for season, I don't know, final part 3 or season 5 or whatever. Right? Why did you even call it final part? This is so stupid. Couldn't they call it season 5 and the next could be 6 or something? Or couldn't they call it, what doesn't make it, oh god, what is the next name? Okay, I'm gonna turn off now, guys. But tell me, what is the next name? Is it called season 4 final part 3? That's so stupid. I hope they go for that stupid joke with like season 4 final part 2 part 1 or something. Part 2.5 or something. Or I guess it's called the movie then. So it's like Attack on Titan movie, final movie part 3 or something. Oh, holy shit, man. Oh, it's so stupid. It really reminds me of Gintama, right? It really reminds me of Gintama. Where you're like, final season. For real this time, guys. For real this time. Anyway, guys, strapped on. Of course, now we have a new season, right? We have these new animes coming. My new favorite so far is Isekai Killer. That was actually a really good episode 1. Obviously Spy X Family from which studio rights coming next week. It's probably the highlight. Shield Hero is back. USM of course. And so on, right? So Shikamori, yeah. So a couple of the new animes that I want to watch, right? Review and so on, some manga as well, right? And I don't know if anything is similar to this anime though. I don't know. Anything big similar to Titan. I don't think so. It feels a little bit more, you know, isekais or comedies. Mostly, right? But I think it's like a pretty good season coming now next week, right? I mean, obviously, Kaguya-sama is like my favorite anime of all time, basically. So that's really big, and I kind of like Nafumi and so on, right? And of course, I haven't read Spy X Family, and then everyone keeps saying it's the best manga ever, right? So I'm really excited to see, of course, which studio again, right? Of course, I think it's which studio doing Spy X Family, and I think it's like what's on next Friday, Saturday, something like that. But anyway, that's probably in my mind the most anticipated anime, right? So yeah, for that, guys. Review and so on coming up next week. So anyway, so you guys can have a great day.